Hello students, you are welcome in my online teaching classes. I am Shishpal Chauhan. I have brought for the students of BA Part 1 the solutions to the exercises which are given at the end of each chapter in your book Literature and Language. This is video lecture 2 and I shall cover 2 pages, 24 and 25th. And let's take pronouns. First of all, definition, then its types. The words that are used in place of nouns are called pronouns. Actually, we sometimes use nouns like proper nouns. Monica gets up early in the morning. Monica washes her face. Then she drinks. Monica drinks a glass of water, and Monica goes out for walk. So to avoid repetition of the word Monica, we can use its alternative, that is pronoun she. If we keep on pronouncing our names, uttering our names or people's name, then they create some sort of repetition. So to avoid repetition of the nouns, we use pronouns. So per person, there are 3 types of personal pronoun. I shall discuss them in the coming slides. Now just I am telling you that to avoid repetition of the nouns, we use pronouns. So instead of saying Monica gets up, Monica drinks a glass of water, Monica goes out for a walk, we shall use she for her. So pronouns, the words that are used in place of nouns are called pronouns. There are several types of pronouns, and these are 4 and then 5, 6, 7. We are going to discuss with you 7 types of pronouns. So the first type is personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, reflexive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, then interrogative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, relative pronouns. So let's come to the personal pronouns. These pronouns are used for persons or things. We use them for the nouns which are subjects and objects in sentences, and you know that subjects and objects are always nouns and sometimes they are pronouns also. So we use personal pronouns instead of things or persons. Pronouns of the first person, you are watching in this first column, subjects, they, I and we. These are first person pronouns which becomes the pronouns which become subjects in the sentences. And this is I is singular and we is plural. If I say I go to school daily, I go to college daily, so I am using I instead of my name, right? And if we are more than one, we can use we. If I include my friends, then I can say we all go out for morning walk together. So for plural personal pronoun, first person personal pronouns are I and we is plural and I is singular. And objects, the pronouns which are used as object of the first person, these are me and us. He gave me a book. He gave us many books, several books. He gave us some fruits. So we can use me and us as objects. And now come to the second person pronoun. Second person pronoun, this is you, and here we are using you. In both cases, singular and plural, we use you. And as subject, singular you, and plural is also you. And similarly, we have object you, singular, and plural you. So in both the cases, as pronouns, as objects as well as subjects, we use you as singular as well as plural. Now third person pronouns. As singular, we have he, she, it. It is used for non-living things or some animals also. and they is plural of third person pronouns. These are used as subjects, and these third person pronouns are used as objects: him, her, it, them. So you are to learn them. These pronouns you are to keep in your mind, that as subjects first person pronouns are I and we, as subject and object as me and us, first person pronoun, and second person pronoun as subjects we have I and we, and objects we have me and us. As third person pronouns singular we have he, she, it, and this is plural, and these are objects: him, her, it, them. Let's go ahead. Possessive pronouns, these show some ownership. These pronouns are used to show the ownership of people. Examples: mine, ours, yours, his, hers, theirs. This book is mine. If I say this is my book, then my will become possessive adjective, not pronoun. So pure pronouns are mine, ours, yours. This book is mine. This house is ours, theirs, hers, yours, his. You can use this. If you use some so-called pronoun in front of book and house, if you say possessive my, this becomes possessive adjective. Traditionally, we all learnt them as pronouns, but now in modern grammar they are called determiners. They are called possessive adjectives, right? Let's go ahead. We may also use apostrophe s to show possession. This is the other way to show possession, and we may use possessive adjective also, and we may use possessive pronouns. This is Mohan's house. This is done when the speaker is not using pronouns. This is Mohan's house. Reflexive pronouns. We add suffix self or selves. Self is added to singular pronouns to make them reflexive, and selves is used for plural pronouns to make them to make reflexive pronoun from that pronoun. Reflexive pronouns are made by adding the suffix self to the singular and selves to the plural pronouns. These are used for putting emphasis, and the subject and the objects remain the same. If the subjects and the objects are the same, let me quote some example to clarify my point. Myself, ourselves, yourself, yourselves, himself, herself, themselves, itself. So yourselves, here we have used selves, not self, because this is plural. We are going to use yourselves plural in the sentence. For example, you yourselves are responsible for this crime. If I mean that you stands for more than one person, right? And similarly, we use themselves to indicate that the subject is plural. They themselves did that mistake. They is plural, so themselves, we shall use themselves instead of themself is not proper, so selves will be added. Never introduce as myself is Sunita or Sumit. When someone say something about yourself, never say myself is Sumit, right? Say my name is Sumit, or you may say I am Sumit, because myself cannot be the subject in a sentence. Myself, these reflexive pronouns are used to put some emphasis on some activity. I myself do my homework. Right? These are used to put some emphasis on the pronoun which it indicates. Right? I myself. I want to say that it was I who does the homework regularly, and I do not take anybody's help in doing my homework. So the speaker here wants to convey to the listener that he himself. So if I'm using I for myself, I myself do my homework, I mean to say that I never take anybody's help. We shall do it ourselves. So if the subject is we here and we are talking, so we shall do it. We are not going to take anybody's help. So then we can say we shall do it ourselves. You yourself are responsible for this. It means it was only you who was responsible for that. No other person is responsible for that doing. They themselves painted that classroom, means they didn't take anybody else help in painting the classroom. They themselves painted that classroom. Now, demonstrative pronouns. These are for this, that, these, those. This shows nearness and that shows distance for singular things. And these shows nearness, and those shows distance for the things which are placed at a distance. You can say those may be persons, those are my friends, those are trees, like that. I shall give you examples here. This is my house. It means you are standing near your house and you are indicating towards your house. This is my house and that is yours. That is my friends. These apples are rotten. It means you are standing near the apples and you are indicating, making some gesture towards apples. These apples are rotten. And those trees are very tall. It means trees are at some distance from you, and you are indicating towards trees and telling someone that those trees are very tall, right? Interrogative pronouns, we often make questions with these pronouns, and the sentence will be in simple one, and we can use complex sentences also by making interrogative, by using interrogative pronouns. We make interrogative sentences by using them. Let's have some examples. What are you doing there or here? What are you doing here? So this is what stands for something. Whom do you want to meet? Whom stands for some person. Therefore they are pronouns. Who is knocking at the door? The speaker has someone in his mind and he wants to know about that person, the person who is knocking at the door. Who is knocking at the door? He wants to ask the listener, please tell me the person who is knocking at the door. So we can use interrogative sentences like this. What are you doing here? Whom do you want to meet? Who is knocking at the door? Indefinite pronouns. They are not certain. We do not know when we use these types of pronouns. The nouns are not definite. That's why we call them indefinite pronouns. We use such types of pronouns to describe or mention the persons or the things in general, not in particular way, like all, someone, somebody, everyone, everybody, some, nobody, no one, none, everyone, etc. Everyone was told to bring books in the class. The speaker here is telling someone that everyone was told to bring books in the class. The teacher might be talking to another teacher. Okay, he is saying that everyone was told to bring books in the class. If the principal asks that teacher, have you told every student, have you told in the class that the students should bring their books? then he can say everyone was told to bring books in the class. Everyone, in the mind of the speaker, in the mind of the teacher, he is considering each and every student, means he is putting stress that everyone was told. Or he might say all the students were told. Somebody was going with Rajesh, it means the speaker wants to convey he doesn't know that person, and somebody was going. So he is not definite who was going. He's saying, if you ask the speaker who was going with the Rajesh, if you do not know, if you do not want to mention the name of the person, then you can say somebody was going with Rajesh. And here also is the same case. For example, the teacher does not want to say Rohit, Rajesh, Savita were all told to bring the books. He says everyone. Actually, the principal just wants to know whether he has told the students or not. So everyone was told, that conveys the full meaning and makes the principal satisfied with the sentence. So everyone is sufficient here, and somebody is also sufficient if the listener wants to know about particularly the name of the person, then he can ask, please tell me the name who was going with the Rajesh. Then he would mention that person's name, that boy's name, like that. Someone has helped him in his business. If the speaker doesn't want to doesn't want to mention the name of the person, then he can say someone. Sometimes the speaker doesn't know the meaning, the name of the person, then he can say someone has helped. He doesn't know who has helped, but somebody has helped. In that case, he is saying someone has helped. All were present in the class. Instead of naming every person, we can say all were present in the hall. No one was absent yesterday in the class. So here speaker mentions that everyone was present yesterday in the class and no one was absent. This is the other way to convey the meaning to the listener, that everyone was present. So there was no need of mentioning the names of the students in the class. Now I am going to discuss with you relative pronouns. Such pronouns mention or refer to a relation with the noun used just in front of it. Examples: that, who, which, who, whom, whose, which. So which is repeated here. That and which may be used for non-living things, right? And who, whom, whose can be used for non-living things, but whom and who are used for persons, right? And for living things. Let me quote some examples. The boy who has topped the class is Raman. So here we are using who. There are two sentences here. We have joined. The boy has topped the class. The boy is Raman. So we cannot repeat the boy has topped the class in Raman. So instead of second phrase, the boy, because these two phrases are this boy noun phrase and another the boy, these are two subjects in two sentences. If we analyze these complex sentences, two sentences become the boy is Raman, the boy has topped the class, right? And we cannot say the boy has topped the class is Raman. No, instead of second the boy, we shall use who. So the sentence becomes the boy who has topped the class. So this is adjectival clause. Who has topped? Who is the boy? The speaker wants to highlight this boy. The boy who has topped. The boy who has topped the class is Raman. This is special thing about this boy. He has topped the class. So the speaker wants to say that Raman has topped the class. The people whom you want to meet belong to my village. So here we are talking about two sentences, two subjects. The people belong to my village. Uh, uh, the people you want to meet. You want to meet the people. You can say like that also. The people whom means the people whom you want to meet belong to my village. So we are using relative pronouns to have some relation with this subject noun people. So who has something relative with, so who is the relative of people, in a way it establishes some relationship with people. So people, technically we call them antecedents. The antecedent of whom is people, the antecedent of who is boy, who is qualifying the boy, who this clause is adding something to the meaning of this boy, because this is a special thing the speaker is saying about this boy. So the people whom you want to meet, this whole clause, adjective clause, is adding, modifying the meaning of people. Mohan, whose father is a businessman, is my friend. This is non-defining adjectival clause here. Mohan is my friend. It was sufficient if the subject has, if the speaker had used this one, this sentence only, Mohan is my friend, but he wants to convey to the listener that his father is a businessman, so this is non-defining clause. This is not necessary information about his father, about Mohan. Mohan is my friend, it's sufficient, but he wants to convey to the listener that his father is a businessman. So in that case, this unimportant information can be added. Mohan, whose father is a businessman, is my friend. The gift that or which my uncle had presented to me is very costly. So the gift is very costly. The speaker might have said this gift is very costly, but he wants to add, he wants to convey to the listener that that gift was given to him by his uncle. The gift that my uncle had presented to me, or which my uncle had presented to me, is very costly. So these are all adjectival. This is defining, this is necessary information about the gift the speaker is going to convey to the listener. So dear friends, this is the end